Hey guys, tonight we're going to be using Pamonas Pectin to make fruit crumble jam. Pamonas Pectin is used for low sugar recipes. It uses calcium water along with its pectin to achieve a set. In the box, you'll get 2 pouches. The smaller one is to make your calcium water, which once mixed needs to be stored in the fridge. The second, larger pouch contains the pectin powder. Each box will make between 2 and 4 batches of preserves. Pamonas also has a recipe book dedicated to using their pectin, which I can leave a link to in the description. The first thing we're going to do is take our jam pan, which is a wide and low-walled pan, and we're going to thaw out our fruit. You need 4 cups of fruit for this jam, so I've got 2 cups of strawberries, 1 cup of blueberries, and 1 cup of peaches. We'll put this on medium and cover it to get this defrosted. Before we really get going, we're going to get our jars warming up. This recipe is going to make 5 cups, so I've got 5 regular mouth, 250 ml jars warming up, and my extra jar that is 1 size smaller. In our canning pot, we've got our trivet that goes underneath the jars. This allows the water to circulate under the jars, allowing even heat distribution. The rest of our ingredients are going to be bottled lemon juice, calcium water and pectin, cinnamon and nutmeg, white sugar, and pure vanilla extract. First, we're going to get our pectin powder mixed in with our white sugar. This recipe only uses 2 cups of white sugar for the full batch. Now that our fruit has fully thawed out in the pan, we're going to take our calcium water and give it a good shake. We'll need to add 4 teaspoons to the pan, and then we'll add the teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And then here's where I went wrong. I was following along with the recipe and added my vanilla before cooking the jam. Vanilla is something I've always added at the very end of the cooking process, right before I put the jam in the jars. This is going to work out okay in the end, but next time I'll make sure I add it at the end for better flavor retention. Mix this up well and bring back up to a boil. You'll see why I'm not worried about using mashed up fruit shortly. Once it's at a boil, we're going to add in the sugar and pectin mix. Stir it well to get all the sugar dissolved. You'll feel it start to thicken up pretty quick. Once it's back at a full boil, go ahead and remove it from the heat, and we're going to pull out the secret weapon for jam making, the immersion blender. I'm going to start blending this on low and just go in slow, short bursts and work in sections. This jam is pretty hot and this can cause splatters which may burn, so be careful. I'll blend this till it's mostly smooth with just a few smaller fruit chunks left. This part is optional and you can choose the consistency of your choice. Now we're ready to fill our jars one at a time. We're going to fill it up to a 1/4 inch headspace, and don't forget to check for air bubbles. Wipe the top of your jar with a clean cloth and put on a new flat lid and ring. Make sure the ring only goes on fingertip tight. Repeat this same process with the rest of the jars. Remember how I said this recipe makes 5 cups? That should in theory be 5 jars, however I only got 3.5 jars. And we really had to scrape the pan to fill that jar up to proper headspace. If we didn't have enough jam to fill this last jar, that jar would just skip being processed and would go into the fridge. Once your jars are all filled and in the canner, you'll bring it up to a full rolling boil and set your timer for 10 minutes. Once the timer's gone off, you can remove the lid from the canner and let it sit for 5 minutes. Remove your jars onto a cooling rack and let them sit undisturbed for 24 hours. Any jars that haven't sealed after 24 hours have passed can either be reprocessed with a new flat lid or go into the fridge for immediate use. Remove your rings before putting your jars into storage. This will help prevent rust from forming and you'll know if a seal breaks. Your lid should already be sucked down in the middle and you won't be able to wiggle it up and down. You can also lightly brush your finger over the edge of your lid and it shouldn't move.